knowing it, was somebody giving you the experiences, or were you writing that from your own pen?
I definitely was getting it because I never been to prison myself, honestly. But you know, I was, you know, all my peoples around me and friends of friends, everybody was, you know, going to jail and coming back, and you know what I'm saying, telling their stories. And that was one of the places that I wasn't fucking trying to go, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, but I was able to write a vivid picture, you know what I'm saying, about things that could get you to go up north and, you know, go to jail and prison and things of that nature. So I was happy that that was the way I was able to tell that story, that, you know, through secondhand information. But it was just, you know, everybody around us was getting locked up.
Now, I'm going to say this, and of course, the statute of limitations is way over. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to tell, before you get into the 5 records or the 4 records you picked and what the stories were behind how they were created, I'm going to tell everybody a Mobb Deep story. I was sitting in my car outside of a club called Rosewood in New York City. It was, everybody was in the club, maybe 2,000, 3,000 people in the club, and I was getting ready to go in. I saw Hav come up with P and like 5 or 6 other dudes. And I remember P saying, yo, we gonna go in there and just fuck shit up. And that's when I saw screwdrivers and just hammers and shit that you get from Home Depot coming out. And I was like, what the fuck did these dudes do? They went to the hardware store? Because back then there was no such thing as Home Depot. So what the fuck are they doing? They go to the fucking hardware store. They say, yo, we're going to go in here. We're going to fuck shit up. Everybody's like, yeah. I sat there and I said, listen, let me wait about 5 minutes. When about 3 minutes after that happened, all you saw was the doors of Roseland just like bust open and people were running every fucking way. And I was like, fucking Hav, fucking P, man. Like at that time, if QB went somewhere, it was getting turned up. It was getting turned. Y'all was just young and wild. It was turning shit upside down. When did you say to yourself, okay, I've had enough. Let me slow down a little bit?
I think after 96, it was like, because you know the industry wasn't really having it no more a little bit. They started putting the dress codes on. Mm-hmm. Everybody had to put the dress codes, you know, whatever it was. You can't have sneakers. And then they started banning us from places, you know what I mean? So that shit was counterproductive. It's like, yo, okay, you know, we got in the game. We was happy. We celebrated. We started some shit. Now we got to stick to the business, you know what I mean? You know, a lot of my peoples wasn't feeling that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck that. But I was like, I'm looking at the business aspect of it now. I'm like, yo, you know, this shit is the kind of business. We don't need 1,000 niggas with us at Hot 97, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And Hot 97 not having it, you know what I'm saying? Because if something get missing from Hot 97, guess what's happening? You're not going to the radio station no more. Yeah. And if you can't go to the radio station no more, your record can't get played. You understand what I'm saying? So when we started getting a little flack for that, like, oh, Mobb Deep's here, nope, we can't let them in. And it was fucking with our career. We had to kind of change it up a little bit.
I remember one night we were at Hot, I think, because I remember at that time I used to come on midnight after Funkmaster Flex. And I think that y'all wanted to come, but y'all brought like 40 niggas.
Right.
And it was like, yo, bro, we can't bring 40 niggas can't even get on the elevator. Like, what y'all doing right now? And I remember you being the one that said, yo, y'all got to stand outside.
Word up.
I said, okay, Hav is the one that's thinking right now. So I do remember that time where they were like, look, we gonna have to dead all these people, man. It's too much. Like and people, just in case you don't know, the more people you carry with you, the more headaches you have, the more overhead you have, the more people you have to babysit, the more bullshit, other people's bullshit you got to deal with, and it really becomes counterproductive and at points dangerous. So with that being said, again, we're talking to Havoc. Every night we do this at 7 p.m. Celebrity news, interviews, everything. And if you haven't followed me, just go follow me and look for the notifications. We do this every day. Tomorrow is Mariah Lynn from Love and Hip Hop. Wednesday is Essential Part 5, and Thursday is Throwback Thursday with Maya. Give us 3 of your songs that you loved from the album. Of course, Shook One's got to be one probably. and the story behind them being made. I'm just gonna let you do your thing.
I'm gonna start with the start of your ending, like which is the intro track on the album. The reason why I say start of your ending because it was one of the last tracks we made for the album, so we was like finished, done, and I was really feeling the beat. We had the crew in the studio, which we tore the fucking studio up, and we let everybody give shout outs. So that was like pretty a memorable moment because we finally finished the album. Second, I have to be. I would say Drink Away the Pain because it's like one of the only songs we ever did with Q-Tip. You know what I mean? And to have him on a song, somebody that I looked up to, lyrically and musically, production wise, it was a pretty dope situation. He came in the studio, he had his samples, he would be in there, like he's a master on the boards. And last but not least, I would have to say Shook Ones because it got me to where I am today. This one single song, you know what I mean? It allowed me to make another album and then another album and then another, you know what I mean? So if it hadn't been for that piece of the puzzle, I wouldn't have been where I'm at today. And making that song, I made it, humble beginnings in my in the projects in my mother's crib. Shout out to my moms with some Sadies. She put up with a little bit of hell, you know what I'm saying, with us all in the house making the music, but she thugged it out with us. I made the track and it started a whole revolution for us.
Now, I was told, and I wasn't sure, so I wanna ask you. At the beginning, you hit. Somebody told me that was you turning on the gas stove in your house. Is that true?
No, it's not true.
Okay, so that's just a
it's like an old folklore, like myth, like you know what I mean. But I let the story just go because shit, fuck it, it sounds good, you know what I mean. But what happened was that the hi-hat in the song sounds like the stove in the projects, you know what I mean. So people kind of like put two and two together, say, "Oh shit, that's the stove," because we had it in the beginning of the video. And they just assumed that that's where I got it from. But, shit.
My final question is this. I'm gonna use myself because I have to see this from another angle. The day I made Be Faithful, I wrote, you got a $100 bill, get your hands up. You got a $50 bill. I wrote that on the floor of DJ Wiz's house. I was literally on the floor writing the lyrics. I didn't know what the fuck I made. I didn't know what it was going to be. I had no idea.
Classic.
Right. It became a classic song. When you made Shook Ones, when you heard that beat, did you say, okay, this is it? Or did you just not know? You just gave it to me and you said, here, we don't know.
Yeah, I definitely didn't know. You know what I'm saying? It was just another beat to me. To be honest with you, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't trying to make it what it's not. I just made the beat. I was like, all right, niggas came up to the crib. Niggas was feeling it. I was like, fuck it, let's do it. And then when the label and the A&Rs in them heard it, they was like, yo, this shit is crazy. And they just ran with it. But I'm not really good at picking singles or knowing what's dope. I could play a beat for you right now. This shit probably crazy. You know what I mean? Like, you won't like it. But if you go through like another 20, you'll find a gem in there. You know what I mean? So it's all. So I didn't know. You know what I mean?
I want you to tell, because of course, Mobb Deep is Prodigy and Havoc.
Yes.
Give us something about P that we didn't know. Give us a story about P that we didn't know. Tell us about the kind of person he was, because we only saw Bandana P that was very niggerish, that was very thugged out, that was just very wild. What is something about P that we would look at him and we just wouldn't expect, we wouldn't know, something about him that no one would know?
One thing I would say about P that maybe, I don't know if people know or not, but people close to him probably would know. P was mad thoughtful. You know what I'm saying? Like, he cared about the people close to him and around him. You know what I mean? And I remember, we shooting the Shook Ones video. We was about to shoot it, and he went out and he got all of the clothes for it. You know what I'm saying? He the one that made those Hennessy jerseys and stuff like that. You know what I mean? He was so thoughtful. And even beyond that, before we even did all of that, you know, he used to look out for me and, you know, buy me Pele leathers and shit like that when I ain't had no bread. He was really thoughtful, man. And, you know, I miss him.
What was the last time that you spoke to P? Last time you heard his voice?
The last time I spoke to P was backstage after the Vegas show. We did the show in Vegas, he wasn't really feeling too good, but he didn't look like he was like, you know, crazy out of it. You know, he just looked like he was a little bit tired. And I was talking to him and he just told me he didn't feel good. But before that, we had went food shopping for like salad and stuff like that, like it was a healthy diet. Those are the last conversations I remember having with him. I didn't realize that would be the last time I spoke to him. I had no idea.
If, being that this is the 25th anniversary of the album, if you could say one more thing to P, and if you could do one song on stage other than Shook Ones with P, what would it be?
If it could be another song that we could do, I would say Keep It Thorough. I
Why?
would say, because that's my favorite song from Prodigy. I always loved when he performed that song. Head nigga in charge of shit. You know what I mean? Like, I was, every time he performed it, I was like, immediately automatically turned into a Prodigy fan. You know what I mean? Because I just loved the fucking song. You know what I mean? And if I could ask him, speak to him today, I'd be like, yo, we about to perform. Yo, do Keep It Thorough real quick. You know what I'm saying? Just to fuck everybody head up. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Prodigy is on my top 50 list. When did you realize that Prodigy was just on that different level?
uh, man, I would say by like Hell on Earth, by like that, by the time the Hell on Earth came, because you know, when you really close to something, you don't really recognize it because it's just like right there, and you know, I didn't really recognize it, but then I started seeing the you know how everybody was going crazy. So by Hell on Earth, the way he was dropping those verses, I was like, something's going on here, like you know what I mean, like he was leaving me in the dust lyrically, but I was happy to be part of a group that could have somebody like that. You know what I mean?
But I want to leave you on this note. You could say that he left you in the dust lyrically, but you said some shit too. The greatest have verse, the greatest line that you ever said that is the epitome of how a street nigga thinks is, when I get on, I'ma put on all my peoples.
Word.
Anybody who's from the street, when they get on, if they really from the streets and they really care about their people and they really from the hood, when they get on, they're going to put on all their people. And you said that and you were very young, but that sticks to this day. If anything happens in hip hop from here on in, that one line is one of the greatest lines that was ever spit in hip hop in general. So I got to give it up to you on that note. I want to thank you for coming through.
Thank
Is there anything that you want to say to the people before you get out of here?
I just want to thank all the Mobb Deep supporters. I want to thank you, Fat Man Scoop, for giving me this platform today. And you know, I'm very humbled. I'm thankful. R.I.P. Prodigy and Mobb Deep forever, man.
Thank you very much, man. I thank you very much. I'll catch you later, brother. Be safe.
Salute.
I appreciate you for the love, man. That's half right there. That's half. And you say what you want. That man is one of the greatest producers ever to touch the boards, period. And especially when it comes to hip hop music, real New York street hip hop, New York City street hip hop, guaranteed one of the top 5 producers when it comes to that. I would go on and I would do Sensible Ignorance from here on in. But I think at this point, to say anything else would be just idiotic. I want everybody on here right now to go to YouTube or go wherever the fuck you go, and you go listen to that infamous album. When you do that, no problem, Mona. When you do that, you listen, you think about what was said during this live. It is without a doubt one of the most amazing albums to ever be put on wax. And on that note, for tonight, I'm going to let y'all go because there's actually nothing else to be said. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Mariah Lynn. I'm going to have my man on who's a black polygamist, and he's going to talk about having 2 or 3 wives and being black in the hood. Definitely will be interesting. You guys be there for that. See y'all later. Good night.